Beyond visualization, execution is the new spirituality. Hi, I'm Aslam Khatri. Welcome to the Growth Gap. We all have hopes, dreams, aspirations. We all have goals. Let me help you get to the next stage from where you are today to where you want to be. We've been talking about paradigm, and that has been our 4-part series subject. We have already talked about what paradigm is. We have talked about the self-image contract, and we talked about the vibration of the money as to where does the wealth come from and how does the wealth come. Altogether, we talk about paradigms. Paradigms is something that we live with it on a daily basis. That is something that's in our brains. That's something that is stuck with us, and we continue to do it. Now, these habits, they may be great. These thoughts may be the greatest things, but at one point, but now they're holding you back. So how do we do it? We have talked about, and as a matter of fact, we broke the myth of what paradigm is. How do we make a contract and just live with that without even knowing what we're doing, and as to what is the vibration of the money. So now we want to talk about all that put together. We want to say, yes, the visualization, which is the most important thing in the life, because without dreaming, without visualization, we cannot do anything. But here's the truth. What happens is when we just live in the visualization, when we just live in that dream stage, what has happened is in the past, with all that spirituality, with all the gurus teaching us the vibration or working with it and saying that this is what is going to make you achieve your goals, unfortunately, just the part of visualization or dreaming or looking for the vibration is just not enough. What you need is really execution. Because unless and until we take the first step, unless and until we go out and do what we need to do, it just becomes a moot point. Because all you're doing is you're stuck in a trap where you are hoping and dreaming for something to come. So this is almost like a wake-up call where you need to understand that as much as the visualization, as much as the dreaming, as much as the planning is very, very important, so is taking that first step, so is strategizing, so is trying to do the execution, because without that you will have a lot of difficulty. So how do we do that? How do we get to that execution point? What is it that will make you go to that particular execution of whatever your goals are, whatever that you want to do? Yes, you visualize this. Yes, you know it's doable. Yes, you know you're going to accomplish it. You can accomplish it. But now you need to take that first step. You need to take that first step. You need to go out and you need to strategize and you need to work a strategy that will help you not only accomplish it, but get your goals done. So how do we do that? Here are a few points that I wanted to talk about. And one of them is what is the execution? How do we do that execution? You see, vision, strategy, consistent action, that materializes, that gives the realization. So, the very first thing that I see in the visualization strategy is that we need to take a daily action. There has to be a daily action routine. So before visualization, before going on getting up in the morning, before going on and doing a meditation, before doing anything else, why don't you write down 3 of the tasks that will help you strategize your plan? What steps are you going to take? So that's the first thing, because that keeps basically very fresh in your mind. Now, after that, you can go out and visualize more. You can do all your meditation and everything. But the first thing that we need to do is truly write it down. The second thing that I've seen that I believe will really help you is that 48 hour window. Because if you have a plan, if you're thinking of something, get going, start something within 48 hours. Once you've done that, the doors open to you automatically. And that's what I think visualization and vibration, everything else, that's what it means. But then you must open the doors. So you have this 48-hour window. Get it done in that 48 hours, which will help you do the stuff. You see, the other thing is through the spirituality and through dreaming, through visualization, what we visualize is something that is very perfect. It's extremely perfect, it's beautiful. But in reality, in many ways and in many times, in reality, there is no such thing as perfection. So you see, this is where spirituality and the reality basically conflict. You need to understand that when you start anything, it is not going to be perfect. So unless you start taking those imperfect steps, that starts at least from somewhere, that starts from the action. You see, we sometimes, because we're dreaming, because we're visualizing it, we visualize at the end of the day a perfect image of where we think we're going to be. And it's great to be dreaming, it's great to be in that situation. But starting up, taking that first step is always messy. And instead of getting discouraged, know that is the part. You know, you're doing everything right at this point. You visualized it right. You've taken your 3 steps that you're going to do. Within the first day, you wrote it down. And within the 48 hours, you've taken the chance. And you've gone and you say, I am going to accomplish this. But now, you must visualize it. You must visualize, you must execute it. And that execution is going to be messy. And that execution is going to be difficult. And that execution is going to be imperfect. But as long as you realize that in this imperfection, you will find your diamond. You will find your gold. You will find what you're looking for. So, you see, as much as we keep on talking about spirituality, we're talking about dreaming, we're talking about having the visualization, which is all so great. But without taking that first step, my friends, without going to take that first step, it is going to be really difficult. So this is your call to action, which is, what are you waiting for? Now that you have dreamed of, now that you know that you have a plan. You see, we talked about everything. In this 4-part series, we talked about what is paradigm. Paradigm basically is what we start to believe within ourselves of what is that we're capable of, what we're not capable of. Then because of that, we sign ourselves a contract. We talk to ourselves and we say, this is what I am capable of, this is what I'm not capable of. Nobody told you. You just somehow or the other took on that particular agreement within yourself. And then we talked about the vibration of the money. And we said that you need to act more than just a beggar. Because as long as you are going to live in that negativity, you will not see the wealth, because the wealth only comes when you start seeing the abundance. So now what you've done is you visualize that abundance, but now what you have to do is take that next step. Take that next step. In my book, A Matter of Destiny, Passion or Wish, please, if you haven't bought it, you can read it on Kindle. I talk about my adventures. As much as I've always been so spiritual, as much as I have always been very positive, one thing I knew, that nothing will happen. As much as I know everything will come to me, but nothing will happen till I have taken that first step. And that first step, my friends, is the messy execution. So I hope you understand the message that I'm trying to send. And the message is that no, don't wait for it to come to you. Go get it. Go do the execution. Go do the messy thing that you need to do to get yourself to the next step. Now, if you know somebody who can use this, please give it to them. Send it to them. Please subscribe to my channel. I'm Aslam Khatri. Till next time, wishing you all the best, a great execution.